You want some chicken?
Get ahead of the winter freeze.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it's me, April Love, here in Boston, wishing you a blessed time wherever you are. Hope you find reasons to smile, to laugh, to enjoy life, to appreciate everything and everyone around you. So in this video, I am going to do my shredded chicken. I know I did a video before, but I kind of combined it with a regular vlog, and I've had requests about making a video specifically just for the shredded chicken. So we're going to do it again. Alright, so let's get started. So we're going to start with some of the ingredients we're going to need for this recipe. We got some black pepper, some salt, sea salt, agave, homemade taco seasoning. I'll put the recipe for that in the description below. We got some coriander, apple cider vinegar. I got sliced up peppers and white onions. The onions are on the bottom. And, of course, the chicken. So what I'm doing right now as far as the chicken is concerned, I'm just taking a couple of the thighs. This recipe calls for 2 pounds of chicken breast and 2 pounds of chicken thighs. Sounds like a lot, but if you're someone that's trying to do prep meals, or even if you're not, if you just like shredded, like Mexican style chicken, you can make this and you'll have it for the rest of the week. You can make quesadillas, tacos, enchiladas, whatever you want throughout the week. You can even top it on some rice or a salad or whatever. So I'm going to continue to trim. Make sure when you're doing the chicken that you just double check it. Trim off any of the extra fat. Make sure there's no like bone particles. And yeah, once you get that done, we'll get into the next. Alright, so I'm getting the pan ready. You got it on medium-high heat. I also have the oven heating up at 275. Because once we get everything in the pan, everything's going in the oven for about 3.5 hours. So at the moment, I'm going to let the pan heat up. I'm going to add salt and pepper to the chicken. And I'm going to start with browning the chicken. I'm not going to worry about cooking it all the way through, because it is all going to end up in the oven anyway. So I'm just going to season it with salt and pepper. And I'll show you the steps as I go. The chicken's pretty much brown now. Onto the veggies. Just gonna saw these for a little bit until they're nice and tender. And we'll be adding seasoning and all that good stuff. So you'll see it in all as I go. Alright, next step, and one of the ingredients I forgot to mention was you're going to add, it asks for 2 14.5-ounce cans of diced tomato, but at the moment all I have is crushed, and when you do the math, it just adds up to a big can anyway. So you're going to add the crushed or diced tomato, whichever you have. And I'm sure it's just your preference as well, but it does ask for diced. It asks for 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now you're going to let this simmer for a bit. You move everything around. Now it's going to be 4 tablespoons of agave. If you don't have agave, or you don't use it, or you can't use it, you can also just use a couple teaspoons of regular sugar. But the recipe that I use asks for this, so we'll add the agave. So that, I think I might have done 3, but that's okay. It really is to your liking and to your palate. Now we're going to do 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. As you know, I use the Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar. The more organic you can get with your products, the better. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna add the homemade taco seasoning. A little coriander.
We already had that, right? That's the one that was on the back?
And a little bit of ground mustard. And you're gonna mix it all together. Yum, yum, yum. Now I'll put the recipe for the original shredded chicken. I altered it to my to what I felt was the easiest way for me to make it, the more efficient way for me to make it. So you can either go by that, you can go by my instructions, whichever you want. So anyway, I'm gonna simmer this, and we'll do the next step. One ingredient that I add that they don't, but I add it so it just kind of adds to the flavor and adds a little more moisture, is I add some chicken stock. So I'm gonna put a little in now. Mix it together. And now I'm gonna add the chicken on top of everything. Hold on. This out of the way. I like to put the chicken breast in the middle because they are the biggest, and you know the middle of the pan is always the hottest. So get that in. Get this one in. So you're using about a total of 4 pounds of chicken, 2 pounds of thighs, 2 pounds of breast. I just put the thighs around the middle, around the edge. Keep them folded up because at the end it's not going to matter. And I add the juices from the cooked chicken. I will add a little more stock. I mean, you don't want it too soupy, but the stock, you know, instead of using water, the stock gives it a lot of flavor. You know, and yeah, so try to mix it as much as you can while, even though the chicken's in the way. You're gonna let it simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes. Just like this. The cover on. I'm just gonna let it simmer for a few. Alright, so it's been simmering for about 5 minutes now. And now into the oven. And remember, the oven is at 275. Make sure when you do this, you use a heat-safe pan and top. And now I'm going to put, and now the oven is set for 3.5 hours. Alright, so we got it out of the oven. And if all went according to plan, I don't even have to take it out of the pan. All I gotta do is this. It's so tender already that I don't have to take it out. I just cut through it. It's still nice and moist. So I'm going to shred this a bit more. And while I'm at it, once you get it all shredded, and I'm going to take a second to stop the stuff shredding for a minute. Just to make all the flavor come together, squeeze in some lime. Because when you're making like Mexican style food, when you throw that lime in, it brings out the flavor of the cumin, the chili. You know, it just heightens it. And I love it. I love it so much. So I'm going to continue this. And I'll show you my plate when I put it together. The other thing you could do, if you're someone that likes a lot of spice, the original recipe tells you to put Tabasco and hot sauce in it. I'm not a spicy kind of person, so I didn't do that. But you can. I am going to add a little red pepper flake to kick it up a little bit, but that's about it as far as what I'm going to do. Alright, so check this out. As you guys know, my mother's legally blind, so she has trouble sometimes cutting and see what she's doing. But I was in Christmas tree shop a couple days, actually last weekend, and came across this thing. I'm sure you've seen it in the infomercials or whatever. I decided to buy it, you know, to help her cut things, and it actually does a pretty decent job. So I'm basically just cutting up some lettuce to go with the chicken, because I'm making a salad bowl for myself. So it's not a bad little tool. And there is a clip on the bottom to keep it closed. You can get it closed. See it right there? And I would be very careful. It is pretty sharp, but you know, if you want to cut things a little quicker, a little easier, you know, or if you know someone else that's kind of like my mother that has limited vision, you know, and could use a little help, there you go. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a nice little kitchen tool. Thought I'd share it with you. Rice, chicken, corn, tomato, avocado, can't forget the cheese, lettuce, and a little extra lime.
I have that every now and then. Maybe I ought to go see their doctor.
Enjoy.
Help is ready, boys. Okay.
Come on, sit down now.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned how to make the recipe. It's delicious. Again, if you want to add extra spices or whatever, you can do that as well to make it more, give it more kick. But I'm eating it now. It's better than Chipotle. But if you didn't enjoy this, if you want to see more cooking vlogs like this, give it a thumbs up, leave the comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. And because I've made so much of this, I even made extra rice and a bunch of other stuff, so that's going to be more prep meals. You know, so, and there's plenty of it to make the prep meals, so it's going to be really good. Anyway, until next time, like, love, share, and inspire. Much love all. Peace. Here, have some.